Hey, Marshawn Lynch. Do you like homegrown talents creating high quality and stylish clothing in the Highlands of Scotland?
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Kirk Cousins, do you like a wide range of hats, t-shirts, jumpers and accessories for men, women and even children?
You like that? You like that?
And Josh Norman, what's your thoughts on receiving an incredible offer for just listening to this podcast?
He sucked.
Well, that's offensive, but don't worry, podcast crew, because By Sea, By Land are here for you. Use the offer code MarkTanaNFL now to get 25% off any order at byseabyland.co.uk now. And before we start, I just want to take a very short moment to mention our brand new sponsor, BDG Wallets. BDG Wallets think that simple is better, especially when it comes to your wallet. They don't like the idea of sitting on a bulky traditional wallet with all those unnecessary cards and receipts. Therefore, the guys at BDG Wallets have created a simple design that cleverly incorporates all aspects of a traditional wallet into a slimline, minimalist and modern wallet, which is as thin as 7mm. Produced here in the UK and assembled by hand in Scotland, BDG Wallets are delighted to offer you 10% off any order with the code MarkTanaNFL. Just go to bdgwallets.co.uk and have a look at these gorgeous, smart and simple wallets today.
You're listening to Mark and Tana talk NFL. Follow on Twitter at Mark and Tana NFL. Like on Facebook at Mark and Tana talk NFL. Listen on iTunes, Soundcloud, and Stitcher Radio.
Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of Mark and Tana Talk NFL, sponsored by Sea, By Land, a monthly podcast all about the NFL and anything else that gets us going. Brought to you by your hosts Mark Thompson and Tanatswa Mstuza. And that beautiful man will be returning to the episode next month. But however, I do have a bone to pick with him regarding his horrendous and lying ways. We'll get to that soon. Joining us again is our resident Vikings fan. We now go hand in hand. The Edelman to our Amendola, the kicking net to our Odell Beckham Jr., the irrelevant big money contracts to our Brock Osweiler, the Las Vegas to our Raiders, and the rehab room to our Teddy Bridgewater. It's Fearghus Maher. Hello, Fearghus.
That last one about Teddy was a bit mean.
Yeah, sorry, Fearghus. So yeah, we've got Fearghus back on. You made your triumphant start to the show last month.
Yeah, it was good fun. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for inviting me again.
No worries. Well, we're now in your gaff. We're in Glasgow.
Oh yeah.
So if you hear the wonder of the M74 bypass in the background, that's why.
Yeah, I'm too cheap to find anywhere that far away from a motorway. Sorry, guys.
No, I got told we're getting a proper podcast studio, just kitchen table. Made a coffee at least. No, well. Now, Fearghus, we do this thing that we didn't do last time, but it's called What Have We Learned in the NFL This Week? So, Fearghus, what have you learnt in the NFL this week?
Well, I have learned that a lot of people don't seem to want any high-name running backs in the last couple of weeks.
No, they don't really, do they?
No.
Injury-prone and old running backs.
Oh, yeah. And I understand it, but it's just something I've learned a little bit more than certainly last year, I'd say.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that in our main chat in just a second. We're going to be talking about this month on the podcast, free agents that are still out there in the NFL. We will also be having our quiz Going Deep. It's going to be, again, just myself, Fearghus, just for fun.
You ready to lose again, Mark?
Well, yeah. When you find out what my topic is, I'm very nervous. And then we're also going to have a bit of any other business as well. So let's go on with it. On this month's episode of Mark and Tana NFL, we're going to start things off. We're talking about some of the free agents that are still out there in the NFL today. Now, we've got a list of maybe 10, 12 names we're going to go through today of players that still haven't found themselves a team, and you kind of expect them to by now.
Yeah, certainly. There's a lot of big names left in free agency. There's actually a thread I read that made up a team of all the NFL greybeards, as they called it, because all the old guys to make up a team.
Yeah, and there's a fair few players that you expect to have teams, and we're going to start off with something we mentioned earlier, some of the running backs.
Yeah.
And I know there's one particularly close to your heart, being a Vikings fan, that you want to mention first.
Yeah, Adrian Peterson, he's still looking. Not found a home yet. I think he may be holding out a little bit because he wants to hold out for some more money, but it seems that no NFL team is willing to pay as much as he's asking.
Yeah, so last year he had the injury that kind of wiped him out. It kind of looked like it was going to be a great year for him, but that kind of took him away, and now he's not coming back to the Vikings, or almost certainly not coming back now. There's not been any huge rumours about where he's going to go. I mean, he's mentioned that he likes Dallas, but the big one today...
He's from Texas.
Yeah, the big one today is that he's been training with Jameis Winston.
I saw that, yeah. That'll be interesting. I think a big thing for him is if he does go there, there's no income tax in the state of Florida, so he would happily go there so he wouldn't have to pay as much money as in other states. Yeah,
and given the running back situation in Tampa, we don't know what's happening with Doug Martin. He's in rehab. You got Charles Sims there, but he's not an all-down back. So I think somewhere like Tampa, that's going to be a great fit for him. I know you're not going to want to hear this, but I think the best fit, and not the best fit, another good fit for him is going to be somewhere like the Packers. I know it's
I've heard.
It's not very. That's what will be very. That's what will be very pleased. Yeah, mainly because that is a kind of empty backfield at the moment. Eddie Lacy's gone. They've re-signed Christian Michael, and that's it. Really, I mean, they got Montgomery, who's a converted wide receiver, and yeah, he is playing well at running back. He's still not a number one running back.
People say he's a converted wide receiver, but he played running back a lot at college as well, so it's not something he's not used to.
When you consider Peterson, though, however, where he is in his career, yes, he's made a lot of money, and yes, he wants to make good money, and he will. That's kind of a given.
Nature of the game.
But what does he not have?
Youth or knees.
A Super Bowl.
A Super Bowl.
Do you know what I mean? It's
I'm a Vikings fan, but that goes without saying.
Yeah, he has a lot of money. He's got the rushing records. He's got all the titles. He's going to be he's going into the Hall of Fame. However, he doesn't have that Super Bowl ring. So, a team like the Packers, they're one of the teams in the league that can realistically get there this year. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go there.
For sure, I think it could happen. He definitely has the capability to run. I don't think he will ever get back to his 2012 MVP season, or even to his 2015 rushing title season, which I think should have an asterisk because the rest of the running backs in that year weren't that good. So,
well, Doug Martin, the number 2 that year,
I think it was, and then Bell was out for a couple of weeks.
LeGarrette Blount probably third.
Blount was third, probably. Yeah.
So let's move on to LeGarrette Blount then, and he's a player who got 18 touchdowns last year for the New England Patriots. He wasn't particularly showy. He has a very basic style. It's ground and pound.
Runner.
Yeah, and for what he does, he's great at it. And the perfect place for him, I think, it's back in New England.
I think it could happen. It really depends on what Belichick and the front office of the Patriots want. I definitely would agree with you. He could go back and do very well in the Patriots. Just depends on what they want.
So when you look at the Patriots backfield, you've got somebody like Rex Burkhead who signed in the offseason.
MVP!
And then you also got a similar player like Dion Lewis who can catch balls, say, out the backfield. Can do a bit of running.
Hero Dion Lewis.
Yeah, and James White. 3 players who are all very...
Very capable.
Very capable. But they're all very much this kind of small, fast...
Nimble. Yeah.
Nimble. Nimble's a great word to describe it.
Nimble, that's it.
So getting a player like LeGarrette Blount, who's, say, 18 touchdowns last year, back in your team... I think that could be very useful.
Oh, yeah. I think Blount could definitely help the Patriots out.
Yeah. Another team that you could consider him going to, and they've got money to throw around, and they've not got the strongest backfield, is someone like the Jags.
I could see it. The Jags, perpetually have a lot of cap space. Even though they always sign big names, they still have cap space. Again, it's in Florida, so there's no state income tax. That's what draws free agents, but it really depends if the Patriots take Blount back, because he said himself publicly that he wants to be back in the Patriots.
Yeah, that to me is kind of, that's where he should end back. Whether he will, we've seen what happens when he left before. Went to Steelers, didn't turn out well. Went straight back to the Patriots, won a Super Bowl.
Didn't turn out well because he off-field things.
Off-field things. That's the best way of describing it.
On-field, it wasn't very good either. So
no, but off-field things is a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I shall say no more.
Yeah. And there's one more big name running back that I want to mention that's still out there, and that's Jamal Charles.
Jamal No Knees Charles.
However, reports are that he is healthy, he is ready to play, and he is trying to find a team.
Don't take that as a slight against Charles. I do love him. I think he's a great running back. He's just 32 years old now.
And he had his time, and he can make a great third down running back. he's not going to be there every down. He doesn't have the health for it.
No, he's a super athlete. He's a freak athlete. That's why he's been able to come back twice before from ACL injuries.
And in Kansas, they've got now Charkandrick West and Spencer Ware, who are two running backs who are young, who are, most importantly, cheap.
You seem to be forgetting one, Mark. Tyreek Hill.
Oh, Tyreek Hill, yeah, that kind of, he's the more gadget player. So yeah, he's out of the backfield, but he can play absolutely anywhere.
I'll give you that.
But the Kansas are kind of set for their backfield, so you can see why they've not come back in for Jamal Charles. Anywhere in the NFL that you could see maybe him going off to, or do you think he just gives up the ghost?
I think Jamal Charles could. Certainly, I would have thought this a lot more before the Lacey signing, but I think he could have done well in Seattle with the Seahawks. Yeah, he could also do well behind LeSean McCoy in Buffalo. That'd be a good fit. Maybe the Eagles, when Darren Sproles will probably inevitably retire at the end of this year.
That's one team that is looking for running backs as well.
Yeah.
So
there's quite a few places he could land, I suppose.
That fit his work as well. He can't go and be the feature back.
No,
he needs to be a complementary piece.
His body can't take it anymore, I don't think.
No. And there's one more running back I was going to mention is D'Angelo Williams, backup behind Le'Veon Bell, the Steelers.
Played great in his absence.
One of the best backup running backs there was. He needs to just go back to the Steelers, doesn't he?
I would say so.
Needs to sign a
he should
deal.
finish his career there because he's played very well for him. He's shown them what he can do. Yes, he's not going to be the starting running back again, but he can play behind Le'Veon Bell when he has his own off-field problems.
Yeah. There's an argument that he could maybe go back to the Panthers. However, they've just signed Jonathan Stewart to another deal, and all rumours are pointing to them taking
a running back in
Fournette,
the first or second round,
McCaffrey, something like that. So that's what the looks like the Panthers are going to be doing. Sorry. So let's move on to the big name quarterback, Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
So he's finally gone from Chicago. He's out there.
At his request as well.
Yeah, but I think they were probably getting rid of him anyway.
I think so, but I think they would have waited till draft day to see if they could trade him.
Probably.
Not that anybody would take that.
Mike Glennon's now in there as the quarterback, and
MVP.
and Jay Cutler is looking for a new team. Now, in the offseason, there's not been a lot of talk about where he's going to go. I mean, people think he might fit in well at the Jets, but they signed a veteran. They signed McCown, so it's probably not going to end up there. And so in the offseason, he's just been taking pictures of his ass.
He's going the Brett Favre route.
Yeah.
Except this time it's from behind and not in front.
Yeah, thank God.
Silly Favre.
Thank God. If you're not aware, there's a picture of Jay Cutler standing butt naked looking at the ocean. And
I actually haven't seen this photo. However, I have heard of it on Reddit, but I've not seen the photo.
Just going to go out and say it. Good ass.
Okay.
As players
this
go.
This is a lot more enlightening than I expected, Mark. What's going on here?
It's can you tell I missed Tanatswa? Speaking of good ass,
Can I come back?
So he's a player that is still looking for a team. Now, teams that could look for a quarterback, Browns, they're not going to take Jay Cutler.
Nah.
49ers, there's a possibility there, but unlikely. They've already signed two veterans in Matt Barkley and Brian Hoyer. So they're probably not going to take...
I mean, that depends on if Jay wants to go and get outshone by Brian Hoyer again.
Could happen.
Depends what Shanahan wants, I suppose.
And as we mentioned, the Jets, they've got their guy their backup in McCown. So where does Jay Cutler end up?
I think Jay will take a large pay cut and will go to someone... That's a tough one. I could honestly see him going to the Dolphins. I don't think they believe in Tannehill that much.
Okay.
I think their
injury prone
belief is faltering, and as you say, he's injury prone. But you are right; he could go to the Jets. Is another possibility.
There's one team that we're still kind of waiting on, and to kind of make what's seen as an obvious deal that hasn't come through yet, and that's the Texans possibly signing Jay Cutler if they don't get Tony Romo. So Tony Romo is currently still our Cowboy. He has not been cut. Everyone thought he was cut. He is not. He is still a Dallas Cowboy for the moment. But obviously they're moving on. They all know he's moving on. It's just what he's going to go for, if he's going to be released, if he's going to be traded, and who to.
I, again, think it might be a draft day trade.
Yeah.
Possibility. It seems that way. I mean, why wouldn't you let him walk? Why would you keep him? Otherwise, if you think he's an asset that you can deal to someone else to get some other assets back, like some first, second, third round draft picks, maybe even more fourth or fifth round picks. It just depends on what the Cowboys front office wants to do, and Jerry Jones, the man in charge himself.
Yeah. Jerry Jones is a big fan of Tony Romo, even though some of the people in the Cowboy system nowadays are all in on Dak, which is fine. You got to argue, you got to go with the best player available. Yeah.
Youth as well.
When you look at the Texans, that seems like a perfect fit. They have, first of all, it's in state, so he doesn't have to uproot his whole family. It is a team bereft of quarterback. They've got Tom Savage, and they of course made that incredible deal with Brock Osweiler, and they got rid of him.
I just have to say, Tom Savage has the greatest name in the NFL.
It's very
Savage.
You cannot. He's definitely white.
Yeah,
very white
he's
name.
Very white.
Yeah. It's a very white name.
He's not quite Macho Man Randy Savage, but
no. Oh yeah. And and we've got a team there that needs a quarterback. And Tony Romo, if he's healthy, has to be seen as a potential client for them.
For sure. Yeah, I think he would fit in, as you say. He's a great fit for Houston. One thing I would like to bring up is though CBS is trying to pry him away from the NFL playing days and to replace Phil Simms as their announcer, which would be really interesting because Phil Simms is not insightful at all.
It's an interesting position for him because when you are given that outlet at, what is he, 33, 34?
I think so, yes.
He's had injury troubles. He has
That's
got all the money. He's got all the money in the world. He doesn't.
All of the money.
Only thing he doesn't have is a Super Bowl. Does he think that, say, that the Texans are the most likely team he could go to that could maybe get to a Super Bowl? Unlikely, but they're the most obvious choice. They've got a good defense.
Best overall defense in the entire
a couple of
league,
pieces on wide receivers.
That's
there is a chance if he stays healthy, they could maybe get to a Super Bowl. So they don't. So that I think that's your choices for Tony Romo. You go Texans or you go media. And if you're going to media, you're getting paid almost as much as you would if you were at the Texans,
if not more. Yeah. Because it's the way it works, and plus you're not taking wear and tear on your body, which has been proven takes its toll on Romo.
Yeah, and it's 2 days away from the kids rather than 5-6 days.
6 days away to get practice.
So it's I think that's going to be a good landing spot for Romo.
I could agree. Yeah, I can see that.
Hey guys, quick drop in to once again thank our sponsors by Sea by Land. Remember to use their offer code MarkTanaNFL to get 25% off any order at byseabyland.co.uk. And another huge thanks to our brand new sponsors, BDG Wallets. You can use the same offer code MarkTanaNFL at bdgwallets.co.uk now to get 10% off any order there too. Now, back to the show. A player that we do expect to definitely find a team. He is aging. However, he has been overtaken by a younger and cheaper option, is the centre for the Jets, Nick Mangold.
Yeah, one of my favourite players. I know offensive line don't get a lot of fans, specifically, unless you are an offensive lineman or you love that part of the game. General fans don't really look at the offensive line, but Nick Mangold is a great player. He's a 10-year veteran, I think, maybe 11, I think it's 10. Played for the Jets for his entire career. He's a great player, definitely deserves a home. Even if it's for the vet minimum, I think he would probably take it because he just wants to play. Yeah, it's a player who is good in the locker room in the Jets as well. He was one of the leaders of that team. Yeah, he's a chemistry guy.
And you take that into a team that is currently trying to... It's fairly young and trying to build and get to a potential Super Bowl. And you've got a piece that could really work there. He's being replaced in the Jets by Wesley Woodyard, who is a younger, just cheaper centre.
Also a good centre, but as you say, he's young. He's not got the experience yet.
No, but that's what the Jets are doing. The Jets are just trying to get younger at the moment. They're obviously rebuilding, getting younger everywhere by quarterback. But
Fitzmagic is gone.
Fitzpatrick's gone. But a team, they don't need a centre, but a team such as Oakland, who are full of young talent, full of that experience that they could maybe go on a playoff run, and putting an experienced piece like Nick Mangold in there.
They definitely have the money. One team I know who has no offensive line, I would love to see him on the Vikings.
Yeah.
Just to have him, because he could play guard.
Yeah.
We need a right guard. You've got Joe Berger as our starting centre right now, but I wouldn't mind moving him to right guard, because he is a guard by trade as well. Have the both of them swap, and that'd be great. I would love that.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a player who's he'll find work. There's no doubt about it.
That's his job, to find work.
Another player that's going to definitely find work is Dwight Freeney. moving over to the defensive side.
Spin cycle.
So he's spent the last, 2-3 years on 1-year deals everywhere he's gone, and everywhere he's gone, he's proved his worth.
Yeah, he played the last 2 years with the Falcons.
Year before that,
rest in peace, Falcons. Sorry for the Super Bowl. And the year before, it was the Cardinals.
Yes.
Played very well all 3 years, actually.
Yeah, and he's going to be looking for a new team now. And he'll get work. He will, because he's just proven it every single year that even though he comes in and he's... you saw it on the Hard Knocks with... not the Hard Knocks. All or Nothing, sorry, with the Cardinals.
Shout out to Amazon.
It's much better than Hard Knocks.
Oh, yeah.
I hopefully they do another one this year.
They hopefully will.
And you've got a player who is, again, a veteran who is going to come in, be a locker room guy, but also be productive.
Yeah, he's incredibly smart. Like, not even just looking at his playing ability. He is incredibly smart. He knows how to mess with an offensive lineman. He knows what to do. He knows he can play a little bit of coverage. Obviously, he's a down lineman, so he's not going to be in that situation very much. But he's a great player. He's incredibly smart. He's not asking a lot of money out of teams, and I'm sure someone will take a chance on him.
Definitely a player who's going to end up being a coach one day.
I would say it's possibly. He's definitely one of the more likely ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Other players on the offense, you've got Jared Odrick, who's defensive end, just left the Jaguars. Again, he's a player who you're going to definitely get work in the fact that there are so few starting defensive ends in the NFL that you can trust on.
Yeah, some of them, like, you've obviously got the top tier, which are maybe 8 to 10 guys, roughly, maybe a few more, and then you've got the average, and then you've got bottom 10. So there's about 40 guys, I'd say, that are, you could say, are average or above.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean. He's definitely one of the ones well above average.
And there's no way he doesn't get a team. He's going to come in, and
unless he retires, but that's his own choice. So.
And it could be a case of he may not be in a team at the start of the year. Yeah. But again, coming back to that all or nothing, like Red Bryant, he came in after 4 games and just 2 days later he was there and playing. Yeah. And you can kind of see a player like that do that. Before we head on to our quiz going deep, there's just a couple of quick names I'm gonna throw out there. And Nicole Roby-Coleman, cornerback for the Bills as well.
Good one, yeah.
He'll find work. Jarvis Bird, who was a safety. He was at the New Orleans Saints.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Long week. And he's had injury troubles, but he was at one point a number 1 safety in the league. He was an incredible player who got a huge contract with New Orleans, and then unfortunately injuries caught up with him. It'll be interesting to see if he gets a job in the NFL.
I'm sure he'll find something.
Yeah.
Whether it's first string or second string, he'll find something.
You got Michael Floyd, who was at the Cardinals and then left for
off-field problems.
Yeah, off-field problems, and then went to the Patriots for a cup of coffee, and didn't really make the impact there. He's probably not going to stay with the likes of Brandon Cooks getting traded. The depth chart there is just too
There's too many receivers.
Yeah, it's too much there.
I would say this. He doesn't. The reason we didn't see him much for the Patriots, especially in the playoffs, and he didn't play the Super Bowl. He didn't even dress. It's because he doesn't fit the scheme.
No, I'd say the Patriots don't need him. But they don't need
Patriots like gadget guys, and like obviously they prefer bigger inside guys like a tight end, and then small slot receivers, and then you don't want a crazy quick wide receiver for the Patriots. It's just not the scheme they run.
No,
Brady's short, high velocity passes, very accurate passes, deep passes all the time.
Saying that, we did just trade for Brandon Cooks, who is a deep guy, who's a smaller guy, but he is a smaller. But
he's also a great route runner, so he can run short. So
yeah, so there's no room for him in the Patriots. He'll find work as well, because there's no way that this everyone needs a wide receiver, even if he's 3rd or 4th in the depth chart. Like someone like the Bills have got no wide receivers at the moment. So
I wouldn't mind him coming to the Vikings as long as his off-field problems don't go on field.
Yeah, which with a team like the Patriots, off-field problems leave. They go.
Belichick doesn't take it.
Yeah, that's just it.
Doesn't have any time for it.
No, so it just doesn't affect anyone on the Patriots. But who knows what's going to happen?
He uses his force lightning because he's the emperor.
Yeah, and there's the one final player that we've yet to mention who I think deserves at least a chance in an NFL team is Colin Kaepernick.
It's controversial for a lot of people. There's some words around the NFL that he's being blackballed by the NFL because of his political statements in the previous year. The people think he's a distraction. One person that I read said about him that people aren't willing to pay a backup to be a distraction. If he was good enough to be a starter, as some NFL teams don't believe he is, they would pay for him despite his off-field distractions,
Yeah.
which seems to have died down a little bit compared to last year. Kneeling during the national anthem. Some teams aren't willing to pay back up to have any off-field distractions. So.
Yeah, I think there'll be a time and a place where Kaepernick will get a position this year if he wants it, though. That's just, personally, he's been to a Super Bowl. There are going to be some, maybe not the owners, maybe not the GMs, but there are going to be some coaches that say, that guy went to a Super Bowl.
He's talented. He's a very,
I
very
want him
good player.
back. He did lose some of his mechanics, but that's. I mean, he was at a 49ers on a failing team with Jim Tom Sula. You can't. You have to take some of that.
He also had one of the better coaches in the NFL, in my opinion, in Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And who's now gone back to Michigan.
Yeah.
But he's a great coach, and he says he's like, I think he could win multiple Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not is debatable, but he is a very good player. He may not be fully fledged starting quarterback or a franchise quarterback that will lead you to multiple Super Bowls, but he is talented and he will get you to a place. He could get you into the playoffs. He's a very good player.
Yeah, and with all the controversy going on, it's difficult to forget that I think it was 2 weeks ago, he basically paid for a plane to send a plane full of food out to Syria. Somalia.
Yeah,
and so he just kind of saw that thing online and went, yeah, I've got the money to do this.
Yeah,
does it?
He's a good person.
So as an actual person, you can definitely see that he's.
And the big debate over whether he should have kneeled for the national anthem, whether you agree or disagree with it, you have to at least see that he is a good person. He's not doing it out of malicious intent for police officers that. On all the troubles that happened in America. He cares. That's why he did it. He believed in something and he did it. And he had a right to do it, whether you agree with that or not.
I think if you believe in something that passionately and you've got the feel to do that, you kind of owe it to yourself to do that. And I think if you asked him now, he would have no regrets over doing that. And I'm sure he never will have regrets.
He has conviction, and I like that about him.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's move on to our quiz, Going Deep.
Going deep.
Going Deep is the greatest American football-based trivia quiz in the world. 5 questions, starting easier and getting slightly more difficult on each of our own specialist subjects each week. Now, last month you bet me, and I should have revised more this week.
You do.
So in the break we flipped a coin, and Fearghus, you'll be answering questions first. Ooh. And your questions are going to be on the
last 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah, so Super Bowl 2012 to 2017. I am going to be answering questions after on the stadiums of the NFL.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I think that's my specialist subject.
Sorry, I chose Super Bowls and then you went, no, 5 is better. Don't do all of them.
Yeah, he wanted to do all Super Bowls. So I'm
just kind of being vague.
Which I think was a bit much, but no, he's doing the last 5 Super Bowls. I'm just doing all stadiums, which I'm nervous about because I didn't revise. It's not not a specialist subject for me. But okay, here we go. Question 1: during which Super Bowl did the lights go out?
That would be the Baltimore Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers at the Louisiana Superdome.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you.
2012, if you want a year.
I'll give it to you. Yeah, correct. That's your first one. What year and team scored the least amount of points in a Super Bowl in that period?
2013, the Denver Broncos.
Yes, that's annoying. Do you know how many?
3 points.
8 points.
8 points, damn. I remember the whole score now, actually. I reminded myself. Sorry, 8 points.
Yeah. Question 3. Which stadium hosted the Super Bowl for the 7th time in this period? A bit mixing up my questions with your questions.
7 times for the 7th time.
Yeah, which stadium? Not which city. Which stadium?
No, I think I might know what it is. MetLife Stadium.
Wrong.
Damn it!
They did it the year before this period.
Ah!
The Mercedes-Benz Superdome, New Orleans.
That was
7th time. It's been in New Orleans 10 times. It's been at the Superdome 7 times.
Oh, that's why I didn't say the Superdome. No.
Yeah. Okay. So finally, he's got one wrong. I'm happy now. Okay. Question 4: who scored the first points of Super Bowl 50? It's a thinker, right? You can get it.
Graham Gano?
No. You were in the right area. It was a kicker.
Was it it was the
It was
Broncos,
Brandon
wasn't
McManus. It was Brandon McManus. That's a great question. I'm so happy. Okay, and here we go. Question 5. 2 out of 4 so far. Question 5. In Super Bowl 49, what player scored the first receiving touchdown for the team represented by the NFC? So who's the NFC team who scored that first receiving touchdown?
The Seattle Seahawks.
Correct, but that's not the question.
I know, you said. I'm just thinking out loud. That's a tough one. First receiving touchdown. Gonna have to go with Jermaine Kearse?
No. It was a player who kind of had a breakout game.
Doug Baldwin.
Doug Baldwin scored the second.
Oh, that's why I was gonna go
It
with
was a
him.
young guy who hadn't really scored a touchdown this season.
This
Chris
season or that
Matthews.
season? I never would have gone with that.
No, he was that.
That was a good one.
Yes.
I bet on that Super Bowl as well. I bet on every Super Bowl.
So that's 2 out of 5. And you want to do all Super Bowls.
It would have been Vader.
It would have been Vega. Okay, so 2 out of 5.
Who won the coin toss in Super Bowl 3? I can answer. I know the
Heads.
question. No, not what won it.
I've got a 50-50.
Who won it? Not what won it. It was the Jets, just so you know.
Okay, good to know.
See, I could have done also
Okay, here we go. Moving on to my questions. I'm going to be answering questions on...
home stadiums of the NFL. I don't know why you chose this subject.
No, I don't know either.
Saying that, I got 2 out of 5. You might win.
Well, we'll see.
No slap bet.
Okay, no.
You're just saying that because you're worried you might lose now.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 1. What is the smallest stadium by capacity before this year? That is one stipulation.
Yeah, so,
Because
just
this
for
year
these
doesn't
questions,
count.
we're not including anybody that's moved in the...
Yes.
So we're not including
No.
the LA Chargers?
San Diego Chargers. I refuse to call them
Yeah.
the LA Chargers.
Or the Las Vegas Raiders. Okay, so...
They haven't moved yet.
Smallest...
By
my
capacity.
Capacity is... No, it can't be that. I'm going to guess Lambeau.
No.
Nah.
It's the Oakland Raiders Stadium.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Because they played at the college, basically.
No, they share the stadium with the Oakland A's. That's why half of the year they have the baseball diamond on the field.
Fair enough. I would not have got that. See,
I should have written down the name because I actually
This is a
can't remember.
mistake. This is a mistake.
Right, yep. So far, nothing right. I
Yep.
like this. This is good. Number 2. Which is the oldest stadium in the NFL? Another stipulation for this question, because this stadium was for an NFL team. Not count. There's one stadium that is older but hasn't been occupied by an NFL team for the entire period.
Okay. Again, I really should have researched more.
I think you should know
I'm going
this,
to get
though.
0 out of 5. Oldest in the NFL. It can't be Cowboys.
No, God no.
Can't be them because
It's
that's
like 5
too
years
new.
old.
Too new. I'm going to guess Arrowhead. Is it Kansas?
Nope.
No.
Soldier Field, man.
Okay, that makes sense.
One of the oldest teams in the NFL.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's the 3rd oldest team.
Here we go. 0 out of 5.
Yes!
Here we go.
Looking good.
Question 3.
If you get one more wrong, we tie.
Question
Or
3.
At best, you tie.
Question 3.
I'm going on. You shut. What is the name of the Miami Dolphins stadium?
Oh, this is something I actually did research.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
It's Hard Rock, isn't it?
Yes! Got it.
It's a terrible stadium name.
1 out of 5. It is a terrible stadium.
Yeah,
name.
Hard Rock. Sponsored by...
They do good food.
Yeah,
Not the one in Glasgow, though.
Question 4.
Number 4. Who plays at Raymond James Stadium?
Is that the Browns?
No.
Ah,
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
because they're Browns are something like that as well, where it's just a man's name.
Yeah. No, that's the Cincinnati Bengals.
Same thing.
Well,
It's not, but you know,
Browns fans and Bengals fans might have a word with you.
1 out of 4. This is the draw. This is the draw.
Ooh, this is a good one as well.
Oh.
Who plays at M&T Bank Stadium?
See, if you'd asked me the team, I would have said M&T Bank Stadium. I try to remember who it is.
I really hope you don't get this.
I kind of wish
If I win, I get to slap you. If
No.
I lose, you don't.
I kind of want to have all the teams up in front of me.
No cheating. You're not Tana.
Hey.
Sorry, Tana, he told me to say that.
Is it the Texans?
No. Ah, you should have got that one. That's NRG Stadium.
Yeah.
It is the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, okay.
I win again!
Why is my name on this podcast?
Yes!
Why is my name on this podcast?
We should bet that next time.
No, that's twice I've lost to you now.
Yeah.
And I think overall I lost.
Sorry, the Vikings went 5-0 and then we lost after the bye week, so you can
Here it comes.
take solace in that.
Here comes the comeback.
Well, you got 3 more times.
Yeah, we'll see. But no, well done, Fearghus. You got that right, and I can't wait till Tanatswa comes back next month and he beats me as well. And that'll do it for this episode of Mark and Tana Talk NFL. But before we go, we're going to have a bit of any other business. And I'd like to mention the NFL UK event that's in Edinburgh in the 13th of April. I'll be going to that. The likes of Steve Smith and Kurt Warner are going to be there. So looking forward to going to see them. Yeah. I mean, you went to one in Glasgow last month, didn't you? Yeah,
we had Christian Kirksey, linebacker for the Cleveland Browns. Very good linebacker, despite playing for the Browns. And Thomas Morstead, may not sound very familiar, but he's a punter. But he was a kickoff specialist as well for the New Orleans Saints in their Super Bowl in 2010 and kicked the famous onside kick to start the half. Yeah,
so it's basically just a load of NFL fans get in a room and listen to these players talk.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Lots of great stories. Lots of talk about other events coming up in the UK. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I went to the one in Edinburgh last year, and there was Greg Jennings, along with Osia Manura and Nick Ferguson. Greg Jennings was talking about somebody asked him all the stuff with him and Aaron Rodgers and how that went down, and he was
Aaron.
Yeah, he was a bit coy about it, but he opened up about what happened, and that he's like, "Have you spoken to Rodgers since you left?" And he's like, "Nope, not spoken to him, not heard anything from him," and frankly, he didn't want to. So it's
went to the Vikings right after.
Yeah. So it really is interesting, a lot of insight, and you can win some stuff as well. So I'm planning on getting up on stage this time.
Yeah, funny story at the Glasgow Fan Forum. Sean Gale, the safety from the 1986 Bears, was also at this fan forum that I was at, and they were looking for people to come up and throw a ball, and I knew they got picked, and then Sean Gale went, no, we'll take a Bears fan. I got up out of my seat, and then he went, no, Bears fan. I was like, ah.
See, ours one was the one-handed catch, and so they threw the ball. You had a player throw a peewee football at you, and you had to catch it with one hand, and I was ripping. The 3 people they got on stage couldn't have been worse. I mean, like, worse than Michael Floyd worse. I mean, they couldn't catch a ball with one hand. And I was like, I want a free jersey.
I'll do it. I have massive hands.
Unfortunately for Tanatswa, when the slapback comes along. But no, that's
you say that, you're going to lose.
That's what I'll be going up to on the 13th of April. Mention?
Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will be very interesting.
Yeah, that's coming out soon. That'll probably be out by the next time the next episode with Tanatswa. I'm absolutely buzzing for it.
Comes out near your birthday, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah, I'm going to see it for my birthday because I'm a big old nerd.
And you are a big old nerd, I'll give you that, yeah.
Big old nerd, so I'm looking forward to that.
Good, that'll be good fun.
We've had conflicting interests in that, though. They gave away the spoilers, and I'm furious about it. And the only other thing I want to mention is WrestleMania is this weekend. You know I'm a big wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah!
Because I'm a big old nerd. And so,
not a big wrestling fan myself, but I can see why you like it.
And so I can't wait
Men in spandex.
6 hours of men in spandex, yeah.
6 hours? It's 6 hours long?
It will be, yeah.
People complain about the Super Bowl being 3.5.
WrestleMania, by the time
WrestleMania is 6 hours
starts
long?
and all the pre-show.
I think the last time I watched one was when The Rock and Triple H were still in it together. And
Triple H is still in it?
I mean, like, when they were still fighting. I don't mean Triple H in a suit. Come on, that doesn't count.
Oh, he's fighting. Triple H is fighting this year.
How old is he now?
Like 47. He's ripped.
I mean,
he's a beefcake.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm not saying he's not athletic and he's not a beast. He is. He's a big dude and he obviously works out. But come on, like, he's old.
Yeah, well.
But then Big Show's still in it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Undertaker as well.
He's the healthiest he's ever looked. Undertaker's the worst.
Big Show's lost all that weight though.
Yeah, he looks great.
Slightly less Big Show.
Slightly less Big Show. So that's what I'll be doing. Spending my Sunday night watching some greased men wrestle each other. And I think that'll do it for this month's episode. A huge thank you to our sponsor, By Sea by Land, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. Remember, you can use that offer code MarkTanaNFL to get 25% off any order at byseabyland.co.uk now. Our intro song is Cathedral by Bloodlines. The song you hear throughout the show is called Far Away by Different Heaven. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes, you listen on Soundcloud, and you can get us on Stitcher Radio. And, as well, we're finally on YouTube.
I fancy.
Is it 2004 in here? Yes, it is, because I'm on YouTube.
That's impressive. That came out in 2005.
That's how smart I am. So yeah, you can also watch us on YouTube now. Which there's nothing to watch. It's just our logo. It's a great logo. But
Maybe we should film these.
No,
that would be terrible.
Well, if you saw what Fearghus was wearing, you wouldn't want to film these. So make sure to also follow us on Twitter and subscribe on Facebook and like on Facebook as well. And we'll see you all next time.
It's been a pleasure.
You're listening to Mark and Tana Talk NFL. Follow on Twitter at Mark and Tana NFL. Like on Facebook at Mark and Tana Talk NFL. Listen on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio.